Good morning. Today is 9 December 2025, and this is the brief. Number one, escalating U.S.-Venezuela tensions and military buildup. On December 9th, which is today, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other top national security officials briefed Congress on rising tensions with Venezuela over drug trafficking, including a U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean featuring an aircraft carrier and nuclear submarine. This comes amid reports of increased U.S. naval presence near Venezuelan waters. Now, why is this important to preppers? Geopolitical flashpoints like this could disrupt global oil supplies. Venezuela is a major exporter, leading to fuel shortages, higher energy prices, and potential escalation into broader conflicts affecting U.S. ports and trade routes. And the key vulnerabilities are the supply chains for food, medicine, and essentials. Now, what preppers can do locally? They can stockpile at least 3 to 6 months of non-perishable food, water, and fuel additives like propane fuel alternatives like propane or solar generators that mitigate supply disruptions. You can also secure alternative transportation options such as bicycles or fuel-efficient vehicles. And it's probably smart to map out local barter networks for essentials in case the port closures impacting regional deliveries. There is some talk right now of the LA port having some problems, but nothing significant at this point. Number two, there's been a surge in ICE arrests in Afghan immigrants. Now, immigration authorities reported a sharp rise in ICE arrests of Afghan nationals following the November 26th shooting of the 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C., with at least 24 detentions tracked in Northern California alone, many during routine checks. This has highlighted scrutiny on Afghan communities nationwide. Why it's important to preppers? Intensified immigration efforts risks spark social unrest, protests, or local violence in diverse urban areas, straining law enforcement resources and potentially leading to broader civil disorder. Scenarios preppers prepare for with this community's defense and evacuation plans. What preppers should do locally? Establish neighborhood watch groups or mutual aid networks with trusted locals for early warning of unrest. You can also prepare bug-out bags with essentials like cash, maps, and communication devices for a quick evacuation. Also, fortify home security with reinforced doors, cameras, and both lethal and non-lethal defense tools to prepare potential riots, to handle potential riots or looting in affected communities. Bottom line is this will reach someone's neighborhood, and hopefully if you're listening to this, you are prepared. Number three, Federal Reserve's rate cut amid stubborn inflation. The Federal Reserve is set to announce a third consecutive rate cut on December 10th, which will be tomorrow, despite inflation hovering above 3%, with economists warning of resurgent price pressures and a softening job market. Layoffs have exceeded 1.1 million in 2025, the highest since the pandemic. I have personally looked at these numbers, and they don't look that bad, but it's still important to pay attention to them. Now, why is it important to preppers? Persistent inflation erodes purchasing power for non-perishables and signals economic fragility, potentially triggering shortage of goods like groceries and fuel as supply chains tighten, prompting preppers to stockpile and diversify assets like barter items or precious metals. Excuse me, my nose is a little runny this morning. What preppers can do locally? Build a diverse stockpile of shelf-stable foods, hygiene items, and medications before prices spike further, aiming for a year's supply rotated regularly. You can also invest in local gardening or community-supported agriculture for food independence. And you can also acquire barter goods. And please remember, everything is a barter good to trade during economic downturns affecting job markets in your area. A little personal note here. Guys, have you noticed lettuce is getting hard to find? Gee, I wonder why. Number 4, Severe winter storm brings freezing rain and high winds to Midwest. A potential winter storm is forecasted to hit the Dakotas and Minnesota on December 9th, which is today, with freezing rains, ice accumulations, and winds gusting to 65 miles an hour, worsening travel conditions and risking widespread power outages and structural damage. Similar atmospheric river moisture has already drenched the Pacific Northwest. Why is this important to preppers? Winter storms like this can isolate communities, knock out power for days, as seen in the recent events affecting over 200,000 customers, and disrupt heating/fuel deliveries, underscoring the need for generators, insulated shelters, and extended cold weather food stores. Now, what can preppers do locally? Insulate homes and stock wood or alternative fuels for heating. Prepare backup power sources like generators or battery banks with enough capacity for essentials. Assemble winter kits, including blankets, hand warmers, and non-electric cooking methods. Practice snow removal or shelter-in-place drills to handle isolation in your specific region. Guys, please take this to heart. This cold can come out of nowhere. People aren't paying attention to the weather as much as they used to, and I don't know why. It's winter. It's cold. People freeze to death. Pay attention. Number 5, the last one. Influenza. Epidemic growing in 39 states. CDC estimates show influenza infections growing or likely growing in 39 states as of December 2nd, with trends persisting into December 9th, which is today. Alongside RSV cases in 38 states and a new COVID-19 variant called Nimbus, accounting for 1/3 of cases. Hospital admissions for COVID-19 are projected at 3,700 weekly in the nation or nationwide. Now, why is it important to preppers? A multi-virus respiratory surge strains healthcare systems, risking overwhelming hospitals and medicine shortages. We saw this during the pandemic. Echoing pandemic preparedness needs for masks, antivirals, sanitation supplies, and quarantine protocols to protect family health during this peak season. Now, what preppers can do locally, and this is really vague advice: stock medical supplies like N95 masks, over-the-counter antivirals, and disinfectants for a household quarantine lasting 2 to 4 weeks. Be prepared to set up a home isolation area with ventilation. And protect the elderly and immunocompromised. But the best defense is still natural immunity. We finally found that out somehow, even though we knew this years ago from our moms and dads. Eat vitamin-rich foods or just take vitamins. Wash your hands and stay away from sickly people. Okay, so if you want to contribute to keeping this channel going, look for the link below where you can save money. When you purchase a prep for yourself, you fund the channel. I've also added another link in there to make it easier to do other things. Till the next time, stay vigilant, and of course, bye-bye.
That was easy.